I've tried everything from RSI to MACD to moving averages, and nothing has even came close to working better than this hidden volume secret that lets you spot reversals right before they happen. And in this video, I'm going to break down the exact two-step strategy that lets you spot these reversals early so you can catch the biggest risk-reward trades. I've used the same two-step strategy to grow multiple small accounts because there's such high win rates and so many opportunities out there. And as a bonus, at the end of the video, I'm going to show you a hidden tool that shows you the same stocks smart money is getting into so you can catch reversals with them. Let's dive in. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with step one of the strategy so you can catch those reversals. Now, the best part about this is that you don't actually need any other indicators, all right? The only thing you need is the volume indicator, which I'm going to use TradingView right now. You can use obviously any broker. And when I talk about volume, I don't mean volume profile. I don't mean like any other type of weird volume delta, nothing like that. I literally just use the volume bars down here at the bottom. And I know there's like different indicators you can use to like, some of these will turn red and blue to show you different amounts. You don't need any of that, okay? All you need is price and the simple volume that shows down here at the bottom. Now, let me go ahead and show you step one. So right now I'm looking at SPY. I'm going to go ahead and show you a daily chart because I want to show you an insight that basically breaks down this entire strategy and really shows you how well this actually works. And just for context, this works on all different stocks, all options, all futures, all time frames, 1 minute chart. It'll work on the daily chart I'm about to show you. You can apply it to anything. I'll show you a few different examples. But for now, let's just go to SPY. Let's go to the weekly chart just to show you the actual context of why this works, all right? Now, if you scroll down, okay, or you just look down at the bottom of the volume chart, you're going to see that there's a lot of like different levels of volume, right? You can see we have a huge spike here. If I go ahead and extend that out like that, you can see, there's also a very big spike right around here. When I say big spike, I just mean relative, right? If I'm looking at this spike right here, it's not huge, it's not massive, but if we look at the past, like, whole year of data, this was like the biggest single week compared to all the other ones, right? And if I really zoom out, you can see that there's certain areas where I'm just going to go ahead and draw the arrows where we have these big volume spikes, all right? And I'm just going to extend these out so you can really see how incredible just volume by itself really is. You can see all these like big volume spikes here just over the past like 2, 3, 4 years. I'm just drawing all these out, the exact bottoms. And here's what gets really crazy. All of these big volume spikes end up being reversals. They end up being right at the bottom. You can see right here, we call it this reversal right there, right? This move right here, biggest volume spike in the past like 2 years. What happens? We end up getting a small reversal, right? This is a weekly chart. We end up bottoming, and we end up going for the next like 6 months all the way back up to all-time highs, right? You can see right here, where do we end up getting these reversals? When we have high volume here, high volume here. Even this little high volume little stick right here, same exact thing. We get that high volume. So a lot of misconception that people think get wrong is they think you want to see, a strong move higher, pull back on weak volume. That shows that price is still bullish, and you get another leg higher. That's false. Okay, you need to get rid of that misconception. High volume indicates reversals. High volume indicates reversals. Write it down. Do what you got to do. That's what you want to see when you're trading this strategy. And that's actually going to be the key to step one of the strategy. So let me go to a smaller example just to make it easier for you. If you're doing more of a day trading time frame, just to make it easy, let me go to AMD. Let me go to a 5-minute chart. I think this is a pretty good example of today that would have been beautiful. And yeah, just like this right here. So now the first thing we also need to know is that you don't want to look at the open and the close volume, because it's always going to have the highest amount of volume just because it's right when the market opens, it's right when market closes. All the orders want to go through there. So I tend to really disregard that. There are times where you want to look at that, but just disregard that for right now. So this is AMD. This is a 5-minute chart, okay? And what do you notice about the volume? Disregard price. Just look at the volume for a second, right? We see two really important things, right? Again, aside from the market opens, which is right here, and the close right here, we see two massive volume spikes, right? We have one right here, and then we have another one right here, okay? And here's where it gets really crazy. If I go ahead and draw my arrows from when that volume spike is on the 5-minute, it'd be this candle right here, and then we go to this candle right here. What do you notice, right? If I go, you can show you this candle right here. Now, this was a 5-minute before, so another 5 minutes after that, we end up getting the high day, and then we go down, right? This exact 5-minute candle, we see that huge volume spike, we get the low of day. Price ends up reversing before the close. It's not a coincidence. Again, high volume, so relative to the previous candles, indicates a reversal, right? And now step 2, I'm going to show you kind of exactly like how I would know not to short this candle right here, and how I would have known that this candle would have been a good one along. But for now, you have to understand the concept, but I really want you to grasp this, that high relative volume indicates reversals. Okay. And again, this works on all different time frames, all different charts, all different setups. And just to show you another example, this is ES futures on the 1 minute chart. All right. So you can see all the volume down here. Now, again, we're going to disregard right at the open. There's always going to be a lot of volume, so disregard that. But what do you notice right here? If we look at the volume, you can typically get a baseline of where we have like relative volume. And right here, it's right around this area. You can see right here, we have this huge volume spike. So we can go ahead and draw that, and we see a nice reversal just like that. Okay, same exact thing right here. Huge volume spike right here. Now, again, this candle, we don't actually end up reversing, which again, step 2 I'll touch on. But you can see we end up having a top right after it. And that ends up being top for another like 4 hours or a few hours. Then we end up moving higher. Okay, same thing down here, another spike. Even right here, if we're taking it at a very like micro scale, again, let me zoom in a lot right here. You can see this volume spike right here compared to the previous 10, 20 minutes is much higher than the others. You can see we have a baseline average around this area. But this one, we get a huge spike. What do we see? We see a nice little top, small little reversal. You can scalp that, and then it goes higher. All right. So this is step 1 of the strategy. All right. You understand you want to find high relative volume. That's going to help indicate when there's a potential reversal. Now, step 2 is this. All right. Step 1 is indicate a high reversal or indicate high volume. Step 2 is you want to wait for the next 1 or 2 candle confirmations. That's how you really confirm that a top or a bottom is in and a reversal is happening. So let me go ahead and show you that AMD example again, and we can really break it down. Okay, so looking at AMD, same exact chart, you can see again 2 differences, right? We have this move right here where we have this reversal, and we have this move right here where we also have this reversal. However, it happens like a candle later. And so obviously we want to avoid a situation where we get in a short on this candle here right at the close, and we end up getting stopped out, and then it finally reverses. So here's step 2 of the strategy. You simply want to wait for either 1 or 2 candles after the volume spike happens to determine if you should get in or not. All right. And you typically can do that based on the reaction just by looking at the color of the candlestick to keep it really simple, or essentially what happened in the price. So for example, if we look at this price action right here, we have this huge 5-minute drop, right? Huge volume. What happens in the next 1 or 2 candles? Do we end up breaking this low and do we end up moving lower? No. You can see it holds its position, and we start to see a green candle right here in the 3rd candle starts to reverse higher. So obviously the market closed just after this, but this would be an example where I would look to get long, put my stop right below that low, and then target the highs, right? Maybe you don't want to do it so close to the end of the day, but you get the idea. Same thing with AMD here on the other side. Now, what do we see happens, right? We see huge volume spike right here. Even the candle before that, I mean, it is right at the open, but even before that, we get a candle spike. Here, we get the huge, massive candle spike, huge volume spike right here. And what happens? Price keeps going. So when you see that happen, you don't want to immediately get into the trade. You want to wait and identify if price is actually going to reverse and let it continue moving higher. Because typically what happens is, if price just keeps going and skyrocketing up like this, then it basically means that you don't want to get in short. It means that people did get in short here, smart money did get in short, but they got overran. The price just ended up screaming higher. So you want to wait for 1 or 2 candles, see it reverse, then get in after you see it reverse, right? And the cool thing about this strategy too that makes it so simple and so easy is that it already gives you a stop loss right in place, right? Like let's say we wait for a few candle closes, comes back below here, we get in a short at this area here, we now have a stop loss right above our high. Because you know that price shouldn't go higher than that because our volume indicator has just told us it's going to reverse. So we already have our stop loss in place. You can go for a 1R, 2R trade, and boom, you would have caught a nice move just like this. Now, before I show you the hidden tool that lets you see smart money stocks, I just want to show you one more example to make sure you really grasp this, okay? So this is Google on a 5-minute chart, same thing. You could do it on 1 minute. Market opens right here. So again, disregard all this volume in the beginning, but we don't really see any volume spikes until like right here, okay? Again, you can see we kind of get a baseline of what the volume is actually going to look like throughout the day. And then when you see a spike occur, that's essentially when you want to actually look out and see if there's a potential opportunity. So right here is when we get our spike. And you can see how beautiful this ended up being a nice bottom for this exact stock, right? Google, it's a huge bottom, ended up reversing the right way. Now, am I getting into the stock right when I see this reversal? No. We want to wait for our confirmation. So what do? I wait 1 or 2 candles. Boom, which shows us that price is reversing. It shows us that our volume has confirmed this. And now we can look to get into the stock once that confirms right around here. All right, and same exact thing. You'd set up a great risk reward if you get in right here at the candle close. You put your stop loss right below the low. You get a nice, beautiful risk reward trade. 2.3. This one ended up going close to a 3R trade. 2.6R on that trade. And so by using this two-step strategy, by simply waiting for the high confirmation volume candle strategy, and then also waiting for confirmation of the next one or two candles to prove that price is actually going to reverse, you can catch really, really great, massive risk rewards, and it has such a high win rate because that's how the market actually moves. It's all based around volume. Okay, so now for the hidden bonus, you just learned the two-step strategy. I want to show you exactly how to find these stocks that smart money is going to get in so you can catch these reversals. All right, so what you want to do is on Google, head over to a website called Finviz. Okay, this is a free stock scanning site that I use. It's incredible. You can just go to finviz.com. Now, when you're on the site, there's a lot of ads, so disregard that. You want to go over here on the top left to screener. Okay, we're going to use the screener. Then what you want to do is just follow me over here, hit all. Okay, there's like 3 simple settings you have to do to find these stocks, right? The first one is price. All I want to do is put that to over $10, okay? Because I just don't want to trade any penny stocks. That's not my bread and butter, all right? Next thing you want to do is right here, it says current volume. You want to put that to over 1 million, okay? We want to make sure we're trading stocks that have decent volume. We just want to stay away from stocks that are a little bit risky, okay? And then the last thing, the huge secret, the biggest tool you can do right here is right here, it says relative volume, okay? That's essentially what we're looking for in a smaller time frame, but this allows you to do it and scan for all stocks in a higher time frame. So you can put this at over 10 to find this biggest one. There may not be a lot, right? We only get 5 of them right now. You head over to this charts tab, and then boom, you have these stocks you can look at. Now, some of these are a little bit weird. Some of these are a little bit crazy. Like these, you can just see don't have a lot of volume. I'll typically put this at over 5. You're still going to see those high volume plays. And boom, just like this, you can see a lot of really good opportunities. And just to pull one up for an example, right here, H, I'll go ahead and pull it on my charts. And so you can see I just got it pulled up on my charts. This is H Hyatt Hotels. You can see a huge volume spike right here. And again, just to show you how well this works, I mean, look at this huge volume spike right here. This was literally a high. This was a reversal for the past like 3 months and ended up seeing a high again. So here, obviously, price had earnings, so there's going to be high volume. But if you zoom in on a 30-minute, zoom in on a 5-minute, you'll see, do we have high volume on this reversal? It looks like it did. So we're going to see what happens, follow this along for the next day or two to see if this is a good example. But going back to that exact scanner right here, you can see that you can find all these different stocks that have high volume that indicate a potential reversal. So what you just witnessed was my two-step strategy. Now, that's like one concept I use, my overall edge, like the same strategy I've been using to trade full time the last 2 years. And I put all of that inside of this free community for you. If you're interested, there's over 16,000 traders inside. It's a really incredible community. And in here, we have a little classroom tab, and you can see all the different things that I look at. So we have beginner concepts, supply and demand, risk management. We have a whole risk calculator tool, a lot of really great stuff. And again, it's 100% free, so no reason to go ahead and check it out. First link in the description below. Check it out right now. Join. That's where I talk to most of my people. We do live trading, and it's really the best place to be if you're looking to grow as a trader and eventually become a full-time trader. So go ahead, hit the first link in the description, join right now, and I'll see you inside.